Welcome, I'm Zachary Cole.
I'm Sammy Inglis.
This is the pilot episode of Sam and Zach Have a Chat, the podcast.
Yeah, so none of you have any idea who we are unless you go to school with us. And for the benefit of your doubt, we're going to quickly throw into the mix a quick introduction as to who we are.
Yes, so Sam and I, we go to school with each other in London. We are both born in Australia, from Sydney and Canberra respectively. We're also both 17 years old and about to finish our second last year of high school.
So Zach and I are both big sport fanatics, and I'm sure that sport will take up a big chunk or the majority of our podcast. We also like movies and TV shows, and we'll definitely argue here and there about which TV shows better, and definitely give our opinions on global issues.
So Sam and I decided we wanted to make this podcast because we want to pursue journalism after graduation. So before we start, just a cheap plug here. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could support us by doing the following: subscribing to us on YouTube, following us on SoundCloud, and most of all, just sharing our content with everyone you know. Links will be in descriptions. So yeah.
So now that's out of the way, let's start the podcast.
Hit the music. So to start our pilot podcast, we're going to start with a story. So Sam, you went somewhere last week?
Yes, I did. I went to Wales.
And you have a funny story, right?
For the Duke of Edinburgh expedition. Now, for many of you who don't know, the Duke of Edinburgh expedition is pretty much an expedition where you spend, or for gold's sake, you spend 4 days, 3 nights, out in the wilderness almost, living off everything on your back, including your tents,
You're practically Bear Grylls.
Practically Bear Grylls. You've got about 20 kilos on your back. You're going up and down hills all day long, about 70 plus kilometres over the space of 3 days. Physical gruel and pain, but you know what? Looks good on a university resume, so you do it.
Yeah. And what's your funny story, man?
Well, my funny story. I don't know. I got a couple. Which one you sort of?
Well, I heard that somebody passed out and it was kind of your fault.
Okay. Now, before you start pointing fingers, here's how it actually happened. All right. So I'm in a good mood. We just finished day 1. Everything's swell, even if it was the tutorial day. But you know, still, big effort. And I'm in a good mood. I run over to my mate, who's cooking his noodles up, and it's dark. And I kick over a little pile of dirt. And I didn't notice it at the time. I just said, shit. And kept going on my way. But then, as soon as I look up, it's everywhere in his food. It's in his noodles. It's on his plate. It's in both cups of the noodles that he had. And I turned blue and I start swearing my head off, just throwing curse words everywhere. And then I get the instructor, the guy that's actually guiding the thing, comes over to me and he's like, mate, what's going on? He's like, well, I just sort of ruined this guy's dinner. And pretty much I offered him dinner, he didn't take it. He goes on 1 cup of noodles for a 20-kilometre walk. Now, at the time, it might have seemed like a good idea, you're a bit full, but in hindsight, maybe not the best. Because later on in the day, in day 2, he tips over and faints.
Sam, mate, you need to watch where you're going.
Well, I mean, that's the moral of the story, isn't it?
But he ended up being alright, didn't he?
Yeah, it was alright. I mean, we sort of revived him with chocolate biscuits just to get his energy up. But other than that, yeah, it was good.
Do you recommend
just storming off.
Duke of Edinburgh to other people?
I recommend it if you're physically fit and if you like, just I don't know, the outdoors and great landscapes. But
some great views.
It's hard work. It's very hard work.
Yeah.
Excruciatingly hard work, one might add.
Well, so in the intro we talked about how sports will take up a big chunk of our podcast. So we're going to start talking about football, EPL, and the first topic of conversation is Wenger out. So before we start, to let you guys know, I'm a massive Liverpool fan, and Sam is a massive Arsenal fan. So Sam has some opinions about this. So, Sam, Wenger in or out?
Wing it out, I reckon.
Yeah, but do you think the treatment of him has been fair? And the fans?
I think it has been fair, but he's overstayed his welcome.
Overstayed his welcome, definitely.
Simple as that.
They're just
Simple as that. They're not getting the results that the club with the calibre as high, such as Arsenal, isn't reaching. And so someone has to pay the price, and he's been around that long. I think he knows it's got to be him.
Yeah, and especially with the players they have, they should definitely be challenging.
Especially with the players they have. You got world class like Ozil, you got your Koscielny's, you got your Sanchez. You should be dominating the Premier League almost, if not contending it at least.
And they have every summer they have a lot of money to spend, and most of the time Wenger's just deciding not to spend it. And
I'm saying that I do like what they're doing with their youngsters, like Iwobi.
Iwobi, yeah.
I think that bringing young players into the game to get more game experience, just gradually work up their confidence. I think that's good.
Yeah, but
good
right now you can do that in some games, but when you're having trouble just winning games in general in the Premier League, you have to be playing your big players. And Wenger, I don't know if he knows what he's doing right now, and I think the treatment that he's getting from the fans is probably deserved. I think that it's time for him to go. He's right now all he's doing is tarnishing his reputation, and he's going to leave. Yeah, the sad
he's done so much for the club. I think anything else is just sort of tainting it.
Yes, the sad thing is he's not going to be able to leave on his own accord, and that's a bit sad.
So if I was Wenger, I'd resign at the end of this season.
So
but he shouldn't go out hated like with a lot of the fans. They just want him out purely for the purpose that they think it's going to solve all their problems. Yeah. But actually it won't. And saying of that, look at what he's done for the club. I think when he goes, it shouldn't be a matter of thank God, but thank you for taking the time out of your life.
And I think the easy part should be firing him. The hard part is finding the right manager to come in and fill his boots and take Arsenal up. So,
well, managers are
hard to come
pretty hard to come by these days. Exactly. So,
luckily, my club got a good manager in Jurgen Klopp when we sacked Brendan Rodgers. So, quite happy with that.
It's like probably the best trade-off you've ever made.
Yeah. So we're recording this on Saturday, the 6th of May. Which means last night, Tottenham lost to West Ham and has practically opened the door for Chelsea to win the title. They play Middlesbrough on Monday. They win that. They practically have one hand on the trophy. So do you think Tottenham have any chance, Sam, or is the title over now after that loss?
Do I think Tottenham has a chance?
Yeah, or is it all over now?
Chelsea has a chance.
No, Tottenham, they don't have a chance, do they?
Chelsea's got it.
Chelsea's
got it.
Yeah, the fixtures coming up, they should win them all quite easily. Especially Antonio Conte has done amazing coming in and changing their system. And
first year, he knows exactly what he wants. He's a man with a mission, and he just nails it on the head.
Yeah, even in the Euros, Italy weren't expected to do much, but Antonio Conte brought them a long way in the Euros. So
he's a man of structure, and I think that's exactly what Chelsea needed, because they had all the firepower that was needed.
I just think they had too many egos, and they just needed a manager to settle them down. Especially their manager had a massive ego, of course, in Jose Mourinho. So pretty good that he went in
for a bit, wasn't
it? So talking about what Arsenal's not going to get, they're definitely not going to be in the top 4 this year. The top 4 race is probably between Liverpool and the 2 Manchester clubs. Who do you think will miss out?
Out of the 2 Manchester clubs and Liverpool?
Yeah, who will miss out?
I reckon if you're Manchester United, you got to be a little bit worried.
Yeah, they also have the Europa League, don't they? To get into the they also have the Europa League where they can win and get the Champions League that way.
I think they need to focus on that at the moment, because if you can win the Europa League, I think that'll silence all the critics. I think you've finally got European success after how many years, and that gets you in a spot. That gets you a spot in the Champions League in itself.
And you win a trophy as well. So
it's a trophy. So it's just ticking off all criteria.
So you think with them
But-
being focused on that, City and Liverpool will be able to get themselves
I
into
think they
the top
will
four?
be able to, but I don't think.
Next year to
Easy.
see how many can get past the group stage. So
Yeah. Well, that's another thing in itself.
now back to another sports that's very popular at the moment is the NBA because it's in playoff time.
Yep.
I'm a massive San Antonio Spurs fan. We just beat the Rockets last night. We're now 2-1 up in the series.
Yep.
Do you know anything about basketball, Sam?
Not too much, but I know a little bit about someone, LeBron James,
Yes.
who
And that's a big
Just-
conversation at the moment. Is LeBron James the greatest of all time, or
Yep.
is Michael Jordan still the greatest of all time?
okay. When you think of basketball, you think of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron James has that caliber yet to
No.
his name. Like people say, oh, he's the Michael Jackson of piano. Sorry, Michael Jordan of piano. Oh my goodness. Or he's the Michael Jordan of such and such. I don't think LeBron has got that caliber, that distinction to his name yet. But I think there's still time for him to show himself.
Yeah, definitely. LeBron's been to 6 straight finals now, and most likely will make it 7 straight finals this year. They're about to sweep the Raptors and all. But also something that's big on in the world right now is TV shows. Prison Break. I'm a massive fan of that show. So glad they brought it back. And I think it's doing very, very well at the moment.
Yeah, what do you reckon about it? Don't spoil anything, but just
Yeah, I don't want to
what do
really
you think of
spoil
the new
anything
season
for
so
people who
far?
have not watched it, but definitely watch it. It's my favorite TV show of all time. They brought it
What
back.
do you
in
reckon about
different
the
types of
latest season?
storylines, different setting, new, fresh, and it's just extremely interesting. But Sam,
Mate,
isn't there
are
a
you
TV
listening?
Yeah,
I asked you what do you think of the latest season,
like, that's what
the
I'm saying.
latest season, the latest episodes.
Yeah, I think it's fresh. It's new. It's exciting. And the latest episode, it's probably the weakest out of all 5 of the first this new season, but definitely still exciting. It still gives you the adrenaline rush when watching it. So
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
uh,
Well, the TV show that I just got off was Iron Fist. Just binged that on Netflix. Maybe not as good as Luke Cage or Daredevil, but certainly a good show in its own right. And I was excited when I pop on YouTube one morning and see the Defenders getting announced, which, if you don't know, the Defenders is made up of all these little superheroes that live in New York and sort of defend it from villains or whatever, And so they got a team of Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and this other chick called Jessica Jones, who's apparently a detective or whatever. But that looks it's promising to be a very good TV show. And I think Netflix has hit the nail on the head with their Marvel.
what an invention
renditions
Netflix
lately.
was. One of the greatest inventions for a while, I think, Netflix, because not many people watch TV anymore. Netflix gives you can watch it wherever you want, computer, TV, phone.
Yeah, but
And there's
what's that got to do
there's
with
so many
anything?
good shows. Have you watched the 13 Reasons Why?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I've started watching it, and wow, anyone who has Netflix and was looking for a show to watch, please watch that. You will love it. Trust me, you'll be hooked. It's only 13 episodes. Oh, sorry, 7 episodes. But please go watch it.
Okay. Over to movies now, though. Alien Covenant. Big Alien fan. I did my film project on Alien, and Alien Covenant. Just all the trailers that just pop up and the previews and the reviews that I've seen for it. It's released my inner child. It just looks like such a good movie, and it's got everything that made the first Alien so popular and just so good. Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
When's that?
Looks
out?
very. It is out, but I was going to go watch it maybe next week or the week after, just when school sort of slows down a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you want to go into something a bit controversial now? Politics?
I was thinking slow it down a bit. Have you ever been 0-8? Sorry, 0-6 in the AFL before, Zachary Cole?
No one here cares about the AFL, man. So let's not talk about that.
No, you've never been 0-6? Sorry, what are the Sydney Swans going at the moment?
Yes, the Sydney Swans are absolute trash at the moment. I do agree with you there, definitely. They have some of the best players in the world in the sport, and they can't even win a game. Though, in my opinion, they have the best goal kicker of all time, so in Lance Franklin. And that's for all you Australian viewers out there. Lance Franklin is the best ever AFL player of all time. That's my opinion.
Get out of here, first of all. Second of all, Dane Swan. Anyway.
Dane Swan.
So what were you saying? What were you saying? Controversial stuff.
Yeah, politics, French election. Politics. You know much about that?
French election. I don't know much, but I know I have a French mate, or French-American mate, who's getting the best of both worlds, your Trump and your Pen. He's
not the best time to be French-American.
He's tilted off the side of the earth with what's going on. He thinks that both parties are completely incapable of running a country, right?
That's every politician like election right now. Either side, no one likes, and there's no happy medium.
Nowadays. But when you look back at Obama's election, he was sort of uniting the country.
Yeah, but I think that's a big part of what he was going to be the first black president or African American president, and I think that was a big deal back then.
But not only that, I don't think his skin colour really defined who he was. I think what he stood for defined what he was. He was there for uniting in America, truly making America great again, which is why he implemented all of his health insurance policies. Yeah. And even if he did get him into debt, he wasn't as profoundly racist on social media.
A couple of days ago, Donald Trump went past 100 days in office, and I was reading a lot about it. And what Trump has done well is definitely improve the economy. He has he has helped so many big businesses, and he has helped the economy grow massively in America, where it is now looking. And of course, it should be like this because Donald Trump was obviously a wealthy businessman. Okay, he went to bankrupt a couple of times, but he always was able to bring himself back. He knows how to market products and market himself to make money, and that's something he's definitely done well. But something that he's been hugely criticized for is he's broken promises. Where's that wall, man? Where is that wall?
Do you want to? Okay, realistically, do you want to see a wall?
No, of course not.
Of course not.
But how long? Say he's in office for 4 years. How long does it take, first of all, to make get the wall to be accepted, and then to actually make the wall? I
think it's more of a theoretical thing, the wall.
Yeah, but it was one of his promises, and even when he got elected, he kept saying... Think about
it, right? What's he's doing with all his hatred, his racist and his selfish comments, he's dividing people. And what does a wall do?
Divide people, definitely, yeah.
Exactly. Think about that for a second.
But he has definitely helped immigration. If you look at it now, they are much more strict on that type of who goes in and out of the country. And I think at the first week of that, it was very discriminative. But I think now they've got the happy medium of having good immigration policies, and he's kind of knowing what he wants there, and the first 100 days in office, I think he's done better than what people expected, but he needs to come through with those promises.
Still a long way to go.
The critics are going to keep on coming.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, what did you think of that?
Well, yeah, for our first podcast, hope
that's all right, isn't it?
I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully, as time gets on, it gets better and better, and I hope you guys stick with us.
Maybe we don't become as boring or as bland. Maybe, I don't know, spice things up a bit.
Yeah. Maybe get some other people on as well.
Yeah, maybe get some other people on.
Yeah. So
Speaking of other people,
we'd like to give a shout out to
deserve to be
yes,
credited.
he's our good
There's one
friend,
man
good
out
mate
there
of
at the
ours.
moment, friend of ours.
Yes, he's an up and coming artist. You can find him on Spotify, j.pappas, Pappas. He just released a new song called Puppet Strings, and you can listen to that, Drake, J. Cole, all of them at the same time, and you won't be able to tell which one is an amateur artist. So please go follow him.
Tell you what, he might be an amateur artist for the time being, but
yeah, not very. He'll get there. He'll get up there.
Not too long. All right, not too long.
Yeah, so please go follow him. Spotify, SoundCloud, j.pappas, Pappas, and
Yep.
here is actually a quick sample of his music.
Ain't no more think about it. I ain't playing games with you. Puppet strings, I'm cutting through. Now this time is overdue. No more think about it.
Thinking you're shaking in fear, am I making it clear? Don't listen to words you heard coming straight.
So now that's been done. I hope you guys all enjoyed our first podcast, and stick with us for upcoming podcasts. If you have any constructive criticism or any suggestions of how we could improve, please don't be afraid to message us, and
Just reach out. Reach out.
please. So we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Thank you very
Peace.
much.